Hey everybody, and welcome back to Crypto Kings. My name is Matt, and in today's video I have some pretty good news about Shiba Inu that I think we've all been waiting for a long time. So if you guys are new, make sure to drop a like and subscribe, and let's get right into it, folks. So if you guys have not seen what SHIB has been up to today, it is essentially one of the best days in a long time. Now, even with the 7-day surge, I am actually more happy with what SHIB is doing today, because what Shiba Inu has done is essentially proven to all of us that it can sustain itself at a very, very high price compared to what it was without having a lot of issues. We're going to get into all of this. So you guys can see the market cap, of course, is encroaching on $40 billion. We're at 39 right now, which is just incredible. And if you went back in time, I mean, a month ago, nobody would have believed this. I mean, no one, especially if you go back 3 months ago to look even into, August and whatnot, nobody would have thought this was possible. We've sustained an incredibly high market cap and are still number 9 on coin market cap. The volume has been around the same of $8 billion, which is good because there's not an excess of sell volume. Now, of course, we still have that issue with the circulating supply, which I think I'll do some more videos on in the future, because this is like the controversy of the year here, really, with the coin market cap and Shiba Inu. But the theory here, of course, is that this is causing some sort of FUD because they are not accurate with their circulating supply. At least that is the accusation. Do we know 100%? I don't believe we do. But there have been a lot of offers to disprove that this is, the correct supply. So this is definitely a problem, and it looks as if it needs to be rectified in the near future. But when it comes down to it, guys, when we look at our graph here today, this is doing something pretty awesome. But before I get to that, you know what else is pretty awesome, guys? Getting started over on Webull, guys. Use the top of the link down below in the description. And Webull is doing something new this month for the month of November. If you guys sign up for Webull, I heard a lot of people are getting shares of Apple. So again, it's not a guarantee, but it does look as if they've been more generous with their shares of Apple. So if you guys get started, you get 2 free stocks valued up to $2,300 with the top of the link down below in the description. Realistically, most of you guys might make 20-ish bucks is the realistic kind of guess in free stocks, but it is a great idea. You guys can, again, set it up, take you 2 minutes, and it's probably the easiest 20-ish bucks you guys will ever make in your life. So top of the link down below in the description. And of course, I get a couple free stocks too, and I always do appreciate that. So when it comes down to it, guys, what we are working with here is essentially the situation that I think nobody really saw coming. You see, this rounded top here, which I've been talking about in a lot of videos, has been a very big problem here from the 29th up until the 31st. Now, the reason why this is such a big issue is because this typically indicates some bearish movement. This typically indicates that in the near future, there isn't going to be enough sort of people holding onto their crypto in order to keep the price up. That's the most basic way to explain a kind of rounded top like this. And the difficulty that we've been experiencing, of course, is the lack of ability to sort of classify what this movement really is. Because there are a lot of different ways you could sort of look at this. Because the flag, essentially the very, very tall, very volatile bit of volume here, is typically a good indicator. Because when you have a flag like this and then you have a few hops afterwards, something like this, it typically indicates a breakout, because we had a very, very high price up here. Then people get a little scared. We get a little bit of pullback, of course. It keeps kind of waging this this little battle with itself, trying to break out, and eventually it breaks out. This is the ideal, something like this. And ideally, you wouldn't have tops that round. You'd probably have something more like this. You'd have something like this, and you'd have a breakout. This is the ideal kind of pattern. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't exactly do this. When we take a look, there are other options as well. We could try to do, if we wanted to, we could try to do some kind of symmetrical wedge here, but again, we run into our same issue that the tops here and the bottoms just don't fill this out quite enough. And a lot of people might be wondering, like, why is that a big deal? Well, when it doesn't exactly fill out the pattern, it really isn't the pattern. This really isn't a symmetrical set of wedges because it's not really filling it out. And there has been decades of, history that have, set a precedent like, okay, a movement like this, some kind of symmetrical set of wedges like this is inherently bullish. When you have something like this and it goes according to plan, when it goes, based off of what it should look like, when it actually fills it out. Something like this is, throughout history when it comes to stocks, assets, crypto, something like this is known to be bullish. So the closer it is to an existing, formation like this, the better off we are. It's a little bit more difficult here because we don't have any of that. So you could, with the new bit of information you're getting, kind of try to draw it out again, but you still kind of run into that same issue. because it just doesn't really want to fit within these boundaries. So what do we do? What is the change here? What is the development, and why am I so excited today? Well, what this looks to be is a sort of rejection of this bearish downtrend here all the way down, possibly falling below 60. I know we were worried about that, and I set up 60 as kind of an arbitrary line of support, but to be honest with you, it seems to be doing pretty accurate. Again, you guys can see 1, 2, 3, and 4 instances in which it almost gets below 60 and instantly snaps back. So that line of support definitely seems to have been working well, and what was concerning me was we'd see more candles like this heading below and then leading to a sell-off and bad news. But what it looks like today is that this extremely sharp green candle here shows that there were a lot of people who saw 65-ish as a sort of discount and said, hey, let's jump in and let's keep it above 70. So in the perfect world here, what I would like to see is in the near future, just consolidating, man. Just consolidating between 74-ish and maybe 69 or 70-ish. And I think this is completely reasonable, completely fair to have happen. And we could literally just consolidate over here for a day, a week, a month. Who really knows? But who really cares? Because in the end, this is close enough to the all-time high to be extremely, extremely good for stability. This is close enough to the all-time high to where staying in the low 70s would be amazing, because that is way higher than what the majority of people bought it at. I'm sure there are some who bought it in the low 80s or the high 80s, and again, that is a little bit unfortunate, but even then, they're only down a little bit. They bought the very, very top, and they're only down a little bit. And that is so exciting because, honestly, man, I want this to succeed so much. I love what SHIB is. I love what SHIB does. The ability that people just said, you know what, screw it. We're creating our own currency and running with this in the way that society has, I think is amazing. Literally amazing. And I legitimately don't want people to be stuck holding a bag in any situation. So the fact that we've leveled off here with some slight losses if you bought here, but mostly some moderate gains if you bought, anyway on the way up here, mostly just moderate gains. The fact that most people with it sitting here in the 70s are going to be satisfied is just fantastic to me. So this line here of consolidation could be huge. Of course, when we are to check the relative strength index, you guys can see it's sitting normal. It's like, yeah, this is okay. This is acceptable. This is, what a normal set of trading volume would be on the day. Some buying, some selling, nothing too volatile, nothing too crazy. And even when we have this stronger green candle here from 65 up to 72, it still does not exceed the relative strength index. So what does this mean? This means it's pretty stable. This means it's not dramatically oversold and crashing or dramatically overbought and getting ready for a crash. And you guys can see in just about every instance, when we watch it greatly pushing past the relative strength index, it comes in for a little bit of a crash. This crash was not particularly horrific, but 87 to 57 in a couple of hours is pretty bad. So the goal here is to avoid that by any and all means, and the relative strength index, by behaving itself, is doing a really, really good job. So again, as long as it stays somewhere like this, stays within what is considered acceptable, I do think we can sustain the low 70s, high 60s without running into any issues. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Make sure to check out Webull. Again, it's only for the month of November in which they're doing these awesome promotions here, so definitely check it out. Top of the link down below in the description. That is my affiliate link, and of course, in full disclosure, I'm not a financial advisor, just my personal opinion. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Matt. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.